Good morning. How is everyone doing on this glorious day? Ugh, jeez, what a mess. Anyways, we got a 2007 Mitsubishi Raider, basically a Dodge Dakota, 3.7 liter. And what we got is a check engine light. Okay? It comes and goes. My brother says it comes and goes, so let's see what it is. I already know what it is, but that's what this video is going to be. It's going to help you guys locate which sensor is what. Because on this truck, there's 4 O2 sensors. And when you get a code, like watch, I'll show you right here. See, DTCs in ECU, diagnostic trouble codes, in the engine control unit. Right, one code. Read code. O2 sensor circuit slow response bank 2 sensor 1. Now there are a couple different O2 sensor codes. You've got O2 sensor circuit codes, which a circuit code when you unplug the O2 sensor, that'll immediately throw a circuit code. That basically saying that either it's not plugged in or it's not recognizing that it's plugged in. And we're not getting that code, we're getting a slow response code. So that could very well be a bad sensor. But the majority of the time, I find it's usually a small exhaust leak right before the sensor, which throws the reading of the sensor off just enough to where the vehicle's computer thinks the sensor is bad, or it see me, I know that the computer is picking up the fact that there's a leak, and it's doing its job basically, but it takes a good mechanic to determine what's happening. Now, my brother, he's already replaced this sensor once. I told him what I'm saying right now. I physically told him. I said, why don't we check to make sure there's no exhaust leaks before we just throw a sensor in it, to make sure that it's not a leak. Otherwise, you're going to waste the money on the sensor. Sure as shit. Look at this. You can actually see, I'm not making this up. Look at that sensor in there. Brand spanking new. Bank 2 sensor 1. So bank 2 is referring to, bank 2 is cylinder 2 side of the engine. On this vehicle, it is the passenger side. And bank 1 is the cylinder number 1 side. So cylinder number 1 is on the driver's side. Cylinder number 2 is on the passenger side. So bank 2, bank 1. Bank 2 sensor 1 is going to be your upstream sensor before the catalytic converter. So if you look, here's your manifold. It comes down, right there's the cat. That's the very first sensor. So that's going to be sensor 1. There's another sensor below that. That's sensor 2. That reads whether or not the cat's doing its job. And I even, I've been in here before. I know this video is primarily just to help the next guy with these O2 sensor issues, because they can be a pain. Because he's having a doozy with this. I don't think he's going to make it through inspection, to be honest with you. I really don't. Because I have already tried to tighten this flange down for him to make sure that it wasn't leaking at that flange, and those bolts are tighter than fish pussy. So that's not the issue. It's got to be a manifold leak in there underneath this heat shield, which sucks, because as soon as you go to try to take those manifold bolts out, snap, snap, snap. And the truck's, his truck is from the Rust Belt. We're living here in New York State, and I'm surprised being this old, I'm surprised it's in as good a shape as it is, to be honest with you, man. It's a roof truck. But yeah, so that's where you guys are, man. If you need help finding the sensors, what you got to do, when you see a sensor that says bank 1 sensor 1, bank 1, just look for which side of the motor has cylinder 1. Bank 2, just look for which side of the motor has cylinder 2. And you can get your firing orders right off Google. You just got to know your engine liter size, which you can come up here on the white sticker under your hood. See, look at this. 3.7 liter, it says on that. matches that too. So there you go. And like I said, bank 2 sensor 1, and sensor 2. Sensor 1 is referring to upstream sensor, meaning it's the one before the cat. Sensor 2 is the one after the cat, okay? If anybody has any questions or comments, just leave a comment, and I'll be glad to get back to you. Thanks. God bless you. Bye.